Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is Kathy LaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Thursday, March 6th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 9 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. The spirit guidance for today is the elk energy, and the elk energy comes out in the upright position. With the elk as the spirit animal, when I look at this card, what stands out to me most is the sun in the background and the antlers getting illuminated by the sun. And whenever I look at this card, I always look at it as it's almost like being activated by the sun. Another thought that comes to mind is like Wi-Fi. It's like Wi-Fi coming to your cell phone. And looking at it and seeing it in this way, it brings me to knowing, it brings me to guidance. And when I look at today's energy, adding up and reducing to the number 9 vibration, something comes to an end. And with the day being the 6th, I feel like there might be some kind of a doubt or hesitation or hang up when it comes to whatever is coming to an end today. And I think the reason for the hang up or the hold up is whenever the number 9 is operating in a lower frequency, we avoid endings because of the unknown. But the number 6 deals with the material realm, the material side of things. So it brings me to either holding on to something, hoping that something will get better. The thought that's coming to mind for me, it brings me to trading. And when it comes to trading, what's interesting is whenever you're in a winning, well, not everyone, but in the beginning stages of the journey, for myself, when I was in a winning position, I'll be so nervous and want to exit early, taking way less than I could have gotten if I had just stayed in there longer and followed the plan. So whenever I'm in a winning position, I'll exit with less. But whenever I'm in a losing position, I'll hang in there, hoping that it turns around, hoping that it gets better. And something about that reminds me of today's energy, something about settling with less. Maybe when I think of getting into trading and being in the early stages and wanting to exit a winning position with less because I'm so happy to see profit on the P&L, to see that I'm in profit, to the point where it's like, okay, let me just take that because I'm afraid to lose it. And whenever I'm down bad, it's like, okay, I should get out right here. This is where I'm supposed to get out. But it's like, no, I'll stay longer because hopefully it'll get better. And, something about that brings me to today's energy. When it comes to something that you're dealing with that is showing signs that it's ready to, it's ready to wrap up, it's ready to come to an end. This is the end of the road for that thing. Do you find yourself holding on because you're hoping that it'll get better when it's gone so far to where it's clear that it's hard to get better from here? Do you find yourself holding on, hoping it'll get better? And whenever you're in a good situation, wanting to sabotage that good situation because, so used to things not working out. So when things are going well, it's like, it's a matter of time before this starts going wrong. So, might as well I test it, might as well I do this or that. And sometimes it's unknowing. We'll unknowingly sabotage a good thing. But when I reflect on times when I've sabotaged a good thing, it was because the fear of it being taken from me, like the thought of it being taken from me would feel like it would hurt too much than to know that I'm the one who chose to push it away or gave it back or stop it from flowing. I guess this, for me, when I think of self-sabotage, I think of rejection, fearing rejection. Out of fear of rejection, I would be the one to sabotage it so that at least, I could say that I had a choice. I chose. And I feel like there's something around that coming up for today when it comes to some of us, when you look at, for those of us who struggle with self-sabotage, when you look at your past history with sabotaging things, do you have a similar reason that I just reflected on and realized? Because I've never really thought about it in this way, but in this conversation, it brought me to think about it. And it's like, yes, I've put an end to things so that I could know that I wasn't the one who was rejected in it. And it brings me to like strong Plutarian placements in a person's chart, strong Scorpio placements, and also Aquarian energy. I feel like when it comes to Scorpio and Aquarian energy, I've spoken about this in past videos, but there's this thing from an early age where you feel so accustomed to losing, even if it's not even something major to someone else, but from a young age, your attention is being brought to either being the underdog or having to lose or give up something or maybe betrayal, but there's a level of loss. And after a while, it becomes, it feels unsafe to get attached. I think of the whole detached nature of Aquarius. It feels unsafe to attach to anything because at any moment you could lose that thing you attach to, and the feeling of loss is so painful. So it's, it feels easier to detach than to attach and to have loss. And I think of, the whole self-sabotaging part tied to that. So when it comes to today's energy, we have the moon in Gemini. So the moon is in a very chatty, curious, playful place. And I love that Jupiter is there conjuncting the moon, because at least with Jupiter there conjuncting the moon is very optimistic with Jupiter energy. Or if not optimistic, it wants to expand and explore, learning about something. And to a certain extent, probably get away from emotions. It wants to get away from whatever it is that we're feeling. And we get away from whatever it is that we feel today with, say, moon positively aspecting Venus and Aries. So, things about ourselves. So today we might be exploring and wanting to learn different things about ourselves, our self-image. Some of the things that come to mind when I think of Venus retrograde in Aries and then Jupiter conjunct the moon, I think of maybe wanting to explore things to figure out how to improve our image, how to improve our aesthetics could be a thing that comes up when it comes to exploring, to get away from whatever it is that we're feeling. I think of a person probably just scrolling through shopping, not necessarily shopping for anything specific or maybe shopping, but putting things in the cart as a way of self-soothing, putting things in the shopping cart as a way of escaping, getting away. But I do like, though, that the moon conjunct Jupiter is positively aspecting Pluto in Aquarius, because even though with Jupiter conjunct the moon, we might want to get away from our emotions to a certain extent, with Pluto positively making a conjunction there, I see the opposite to that, where even if the intentions is to get away from whatever it is that we're feeling, I feel like there's a level of transformation when it comes to the inner world, when it comes to how we nurture ourselves. And maybe, when it comes to, say, today's energy, adding up to the number 9 vibration, maybe not all of us struggle when it comes to putting an end to something, or maybe we struggle in the beginning, and as time go by, we see the benefits of it. And that's what, seeing the benefit of it, I think of being in the 3rd month and the number 3 energy. And I love having the number 3 energy within my chart personally, within my birthday numbers, because it's similar to Jupiter energy where there's this big optimistic vibe. So it's like, it sucks that something is coming to an end, but I'm so curious about what's next. So I'm already over the fact that this thing is coming to an end because I want to see what's next. And for me, that's always helped me to be more open to moving forward and helps me to not get stuck on, what already, what's not working. And I feel like that's beneficial energy when it comes to today. And it kind of brings me back to the elk energy, where it's like something's coming to an end. Yes, there's a part of us that might have a hang up or a struggle to a certain extent, but we might snap out of it really quickly as we're optimistic and looking forward to what's next. And with Pluto energy positively aspecting the moon, it just brings me to a psychological breakthrough or some level of transformation. And level of transformation or breakthrough might be just like me sitting here and thinking about self-sabotage and it clicking for me. Yes, in the past, I would sabotage things to feel a level of control over a thing out of fear of it not going well and then feeling like, I was rejected and I didn't get a choice in it. So it's like a good thing is gone and it sucks that it's gone, but it feels better that I had some control over that like I made it leave and it didn't leave me. And I feel like it's powerful when we realize things about ourselves, because when you realize or when you become aware, then, that's where we can make changes and stop something from having the power or the control that it once had. For me, when it comes to things leaving, the way how I had to come to terms with things ending and letting go of things, and it's okay, if someone rejects me or walks away and things of that, like I had to constantly remind myself that their choices has nothing to do with me. Them not choosing me has nothing to do with me. Them wanting a different experience, whether it's a boss, whether it's a friendship, whatever it is, them wanting something different has nothing to do with me. And I would constantly have to remind myself, like, the moment, me making this all about me right now, the fact that they choose to do whatever it is that they do, like I'm being self-centered, and I'm being self-centered, which it's not always bad to be self-centered and focus on self, but I'm being so fragile right now. I'll say to myself why I'm choosing to obsess over their actions and make it about me when their actions have everything to do with them. It's like, yes, I'm big on questioning what is my role in this thing or the next, but then there's some things where it has nothing to do with your role and it just is what it is. I remember coming across something recently that really stood out to me. I probably already shared it, but I think it'll be beneficial to share it in this moment. And the person said their father taught them that if you have a problem that can be fixed, then you don't have a problem. But if you have a problem that cannot be fixed, then that's just the way how it's supposed to be. And hearing that was powerful for me, because it just, it just makes you stand back and look at a lot of things with different perspective. If you have a problem that can be fixed, then you don't have a problem. And if you have a problem that cannot be fixed, then that's just the way how it is. Ain't nothing personal about it. That's just life. So yeah, for me, when it comes to things not going my way, like there's this level of optimism, like, okay, well, if this is not for me, then there's something better out there and I need to make space for it, and I'm excited for it to come into my life. So let me do my job and make space for this thing to come into my world. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. When it comes to the tarot, we have the 8 of Swords, and I love that it came out in the reversal position. Because with it coming out in the reversal position, as you can see in the upright position, she looks stuck. Her hands are tied, her eyes are covered, and the only thing free is her legs, her feet, her ability to keep moving forward. So the worst is behind her, and there's opportunity to move forward. And in the upright position, she's stuck. But in the reversal position, with the swords dealing with the mind, there's this level of clarity. There's a mental breakthrough. It's like, okay, I'm gonna keep moving forward. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, adding up reducing to the number 9 vibration, again, I love that we're in a 3rd month, because that number 3 energy is so optimistic about what's next. It's like Gemini, like Sagittarius energy, wanting to explore, wanting to turn over more stones. It's like, okay, I turned over this stone, and what I thought should be under there isn't under there, but I wonder what's under those stones over there. I'm gonna go turn over those stones over there. And I feel like it's a good thing to be optimistic about what's next and not get bummed down and stuck in what's no longer working. So yeah, when it comes to today's energy, there feels like breakthrough. Like maybe in the beginning, we might start off a little bit hesitant about the change. But as time go by, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take one step forward. Or I think of the example that I gave about me in the past, self-sabotaging out of the fear of losing. And then over time learning that, okay, I can't, like, it's not, like, I deserve great things. I deserve great things. At that time, it didn't click for me why I would sabotage, but I just knew after a while I deserve great things. And I rather allow for a thing to just run its course and play out and give my all to it. So if it's a career, if it's a friendship, if it's a relationship, I'm the type of person that's either I'm in or I'm not in, but I'm not gonna be in and give half-ass. If I'm in, I'm gonna give it my all. So over time, I learned to just give it my all. And if it doesn't work out, if the relationship doesn't work out, if the friendship doesn't work out, if the career doesn't work out, at least I could say I gave it my all. And when I move on to the next thing, I don't have to look back and question if I fumbled it because I could have done things differently. But it takes time to reflect. But with everything, you reflect on a thing and you learn something new. You reflect on a thing and you learn something new. And in this message, it clicks for me. Yes, self-sabotage for me because of fear of rejection, out of fear of rejection. So when it comes to today's energy, I feel like maybe for some of us, rejection might not have the power that it once had. And for that, we allow ourselves to be free. And maybe for today's energy, for a lot of us, something comes to an end, or there's an opportunity for it to evolve to the next level. And we don't have the answers or know what's next, but we know that we need to just keep moving forward. And with the 8 of Swords energy in the reversal position, and the elk in the upright position. So when I look at these two energies come together, it would bring me to the thought of, feeling stuck, but I'm being guided. I'm being guided to move forward, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. The situation feels shaky. It feels unsure. I don't know. I'm not sure, what's going to happen when I hit that corner, but I'm just going to keep moving forward. And I feel like that's powerful when it comes to today's energy. And I feel like for anyone who struggles when it comes to moving on and walking away from things, like, work on being optimistic and curious about what's next. I feel like being optimistic and curious about what's next has always been beneficial for me to, close the door behind me and walk into a new door, because life is always about experiences. Life is a big part of life is about experiences, you know? So why restrict them? Why not be optimistic and excited and look forward to them? It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, let me know you're here with me by dropping me a brown heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.